Everybody, Matt here with Field Contact. Sorry for the delay in videos. Kind of been pretty busy with some other stuff going on in my life, so trying to get a quick short video that I think is going to be important for a lot of people, which is pretty much like maintaining your firearm, right? So this is like my typical off-duty go-to carry. It's a Gen 4 Glock 19 that I use a Warthog's holster for an appendix style carrier in the waistband carry. This is like my go-to. I can easily conceal it, and I have different magazine options and what comes with the factory that I think is beneficial should you need the rounds. So first things, before you handle or manipulate, work, clean, etc., any weapon, whether it's pistol, rifle, shotgun, etc., you want to make sure that the weapon is safe, right? So first things first, we'll set the holster aside. I got a magazine in, as we can see, so we're gonna hit the magazine release, set the magazine aside, and we're gonna eject the round from the chamber. So nothing in the magazine, nothing inside the chamber area or barrel. Stow the other round away. So like I said, this is my Glock 19. This is a Gen 4 model. It is not factory. Obviously, it's got some work done to it that you can see. So it has the Southwest Precision millwork and window cuts, and it's been Cerakoted and it's been cut for an optic. This is the Trigicon RMR. It's fitted with the True Glow suppressor height night sights. Grayman Industries stippled the frame for me. And then it's got some other features such as like a Terran Tactical flared magazine well. It's got Hive Technologies extended magazine release, trigger assembly, and then the rear plate. So a couple key things to consider, right? Once the weapon is safe, now you can disassemble it, right? And when I say disassemble, I'm not talking about like breaking it down, kind of like what you see right here, but more of like what the average person is going to do. So again, no live rounds. What you're gonna do is you're gonna squeeze the trigger in a safe manner, barrel and muzzle obviously pointed away from you. You're gonna hear it go click, right? You're gonna take it out of battery, pull the slide lock down, release it, and then you're gonna rip the upper from the lower. Okay, so now you have ultimately two components. You have the lower and the upper, similar to like an AR platform style rifle, right? Now, for cleaning purposes, this is as far as I would break this down. I'm not gonna hit the pins and take out the trigger assembly or any of that stuff. Like, this is it. So typically what I would do is I would spray some shooter lube in there or something equivalent, solvent, and I would use a brush, toothbrush, something equivalent, and I would just kind of brush it in there, right? Brush all the key points, and then I would wipe it clean. And then some of the more hard to reach spots, I'd use a Q-tip. And then that would be it, and I would set that aside, okay? So for the upper though, you got some stuff you can do. Now, I know I said this is a Gen 4, and there might be some of you watching going, but why do you have a one-piece guide rod? Because Gen 1 through 3s have those, 4 through 5s have a different guide rod, you're right. I went to a heavier tungsten guide rod, and they only do that in a one piece, so I got the adapter, which enables me to run that type of guide rod. So this is how far I would tear down the upper component, right? You got your barrel, you got your guide rod, spring, and then you have your slide assembly. And then what I would do is the same thing. Some shooter lube solvent, I would spray it in there, hit it with the brush, and then I would wipe it down, and then I would run a Q-tip along all the grooves and some of the hard to reach spots, and then I would set it aside. The guide rod would typically just get wiped down after sprayed, and then the barrel would get wiped down, brush, and then I would run a barrel brush through the barrel, and then I would use some cleaning rags through it once the brush was done to make sure I got everything. And then that's that. Still kind of still oiled up from the last time I cleaned it. Now what I would do to reassemble this and to have it oiled, I would use some shooter lube, oil, or any other sort of lubricant. It can be hops, it could be Lucas, it could be whatever. But what I do is I would do like a drop or two right there. I'd rub it in on all the metal and then the sides, right? Because as you can see, you can kind of see where the metal is worn, and that's going to be from the barrel, right? So I would just do it there. I would coat the whole entire barrel, and I would drop the barrel back in. I would put a few drops on the guide rod. Nothing crazy. I would literally just do that real quick, not pushing a lot, just whatever kind of comes. And then that's it for the top. And then I do all the metal spots. So as you can kind of see, you got metal, it's metal, and then some it can wear some here, but it can also wear some here. But I would run a little bit there, here and here mainly, and then assemble. And then once it's assembled, like any good firearm, right, you should function check it. So how do you function check it? Obviously make sure no live rounds. Hold, squeeze the trigger and hold. Okay, rack the slide, slowly release it. You should hear the trigger reset. Pull the trigger again, and then you can do it again. Now if you had a magazine that was empty, you could throw the mag in there, pull the slide back, and the slide, right, should lock because the magazine's empty. My magazine's not empty, and I don't want to just run this down. But that is how I clean my pistols. Very simple and down and dirty. Doesn't need to be a deep clean. Doesn't need to be a spa treatment, right? There's times where maybe that's ideal, but for the average user and the average shooter, I think that is more than enough, and I think it is going to work as it's intended. So why am I talking about this? Being in a profession where this is kind of a tool for your livelihood, it's important to know that it works. So yes, you'll see videos and you see like people that are just out there running their gun, just hundreds and thousands of rounds, right? And they never clean their stuff. And you know what? Yeah, that's cool and all. Like, yeah, your stuff works. But there's gonna come a point in time where they're not training anymore, and they're gonna need it for what it's intended for, and maybe it's not gonna work because it's so full of crud and carbon and just gunk, right? Or maybe there was something that had happened that is setting up for a catastrophic failure that they're not aware because they haven't pulled their stuff apart. So anytime I go shooting, whether it's 10 rounds, 100 rounds, or a couple hundred rounds in my day, I will always come home and I will always clean my stuff. Because if you're gonna have it, you might as well trust it to know it's gonna work. And I do that by just simply what I just showed you. Quick tear down, quick sprays and brushes and wipe down, and I'm usually done in less than 30 minutes, okay? So again, thank you for watching. I hope this has been insightful, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I tried to make it as short as possible. because I know there's some videos that are out there that are super long in this topic, and I don't think it needs to be that long. So again, be kind, be safe. If you can't be safe, be violent, right? Because you are your own person protecting yourself. So take care, and I will see you on the next one.